I watched my husband smile at her, right there at the dinner table. Not at me, at his ex. And when I finally said, "Can we talk about this?" he didn't even look embarrassed. He just laughed and said, "Relax, she's just a friend." Everyone at the table stared at me like I was the problem. So I smiled, because I'd already seen the texts. Because the first message had my name in it. It was supposed to be a normal family dinner. My mother-in-law's house. Big table, perfect plates, fake smiles. My husband, Ryan, insisted we go. He said it would be good for us. And I wanted to believe that. I'd been trying to be the wife who doesn't overthink, who doesn't read into every little shift in tone. When we walked in, my MIL hugged Ryan like he'd returned from war. Then she patted my shoulder like I was a coat she forgot she owned. "Glad you could make it," she said, in that voice that means she wasn't. I sat down, took a slow breath, and told myself, one dinner. Just get through one dinner. Then she walked in and took my seat. Dinner started like a performance. My MIL asked Lena questions like she was the guest of honor. "What are you doing these days? Are you seeing anyone? Oh, you always did have good taste." Then she looked at me and said, "So, how's everything?" Not, "How are you?" "How's everything?" Like I was a messy room. I said, "Fine." Lena laughed softly. "Oh, I'm sure it's fine." Ryan smiled at that laugh, and something inside me went cold. My sister-in-law joined in, eyes bright with excitement. You know what's funny? Ryan never laughs like that anymore. I stared at my plate. Ryan's dad didn't say a word. He just chewed, like silence was his job. Then my MIL did it. She leaned forward and said, "Ryan just needs—" I did something that shocked even me. I smiled. Not a happy smile, a calm smile. Ryan noticed. He leaned close and whispered, "See, that's better." Better. Like I was a child who finally behaved. Lena glanced at my hands, like she expected them to shake. They didn't, because my phone was in my coat pocket, and it felt heavier than any insult at that table. Earlier that day, Ryan left his phone on the kitchen counter, unlocked. A notification popped up. Just one line. And it didn't say, "I miss you." It didn't say, "I love you." It said, "Relax, she's just a friend." So I smiled. Because I'd already seen the texts. My MIL raised her glass. "To family," she said. The word family felt like a weapon. Ryan clinked his glass with Lena's. Not loudly, just enough. And I realized something simple and brutal. They weren't testing my patience. They were testing my boundaries. If I stayed quiet, I'd be the wife who accepts anything, the wife who swallows disrespect and calls it peace. If I exploded, they'd point at me and say, "See, this is why Ryan is unhappy." So I chose a third option. I chose truth. I reached into my pocket and touched my phone. "Relax, she's just a friend." So I smiled, because I'd already seen the texts. My MIL asked, "Are you okay? You're quiet." Lena tilted her head. "Yeah, you're unusually calm." Ryan reached for my hand like a warning. "Don't," he whispered. That's when I finally pulled out my phone. I didn't stand up. I didn't yell. I didn't even look angry. I just unlocked it slowly, right there at the table. Ryan's eyes locked onto my screen. His ex stopped smiling, and my MIL's face tightened, just slightly, like she could sense the room shifting.